Uh, I didn't want to say Junior Drake told me that he did. I didn't want to say she like she's sponsored by my mistake. They said.
EA Sports coverage takes us to one of the newest jewels on the NFL landscape, US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller. First carry for DeAndre Washington, and it worked his way across the 30 to the 32. The numbers for Washington in last week's contest: 3 touchdowns on the ground, and then, Charles, he threw one in through the air for good measure.
Yeah, you know you have to account for him in all situations. I mean, we know he can run the heck out of the football. You just noted what he did. But how about him being able to get out of the backfield, catch it, and get into the end zone as well?
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Time running out here on the play clock. They go play action here on first down. Looking deep here for Ebron. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Lions. 41 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
7 yards to go on second down. Here's Goff. One incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target, and it's third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Throwing on third. Goff. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. But they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks standing at 6'5". First carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Again, it's Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. Webb to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to make it fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Lions. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can drive as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Pushing his way through. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield, you throw the ball up in the air, that's how they uncover at the end of a route.
Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards.
That was good coverage that was defeated by someone who just wanted the ball more, and it resulted in a big gain downfield.
They come up in an offset eye. On first and goal, Washington. And he's going to be run over, hit hard, as he'll be marked down. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches, you say, son, if you could darn near lay down in the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
He can run for it, and he will. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up fourth.
Now, this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on fourth down?
They'll run. It's Washington. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Washington. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Lions add on to their lead. Well, they just put a little sizzle in their steak there. First quarter, fourth and goal, run it in. A boost.
I think they showed confidence in their defense by going for it. That's telling their defense, look, we're counting on you guys, and we know that we believe in you because we go for it here. Even if we don't get it, get field position on our side, and you'll stop them. Instead, they put it in the end zone and tally up 6 points.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, get a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
If they open things up, let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Play action, it's Webb. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Reynolds. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 17 carries, 59 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. A play fake, now Webb. And incomplete here on third down.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from the safety. That could have been disastrous. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Now a first down throw, Goff. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
3rd and 2, Goff. And he connects with Ebron. Touchdown, Detroit. Eric Ebron, 76 yards. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
He's got it, and it's 17-0. Hawker out now to kick it away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. comes Minnesota. And this is their third drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open, and it helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Over the middle, complete. That's Reynolds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. So now Eric Ebron and the rest of the offensive unit trotting on the field. Creeping up on 1,000, could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively, maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try to discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You got an opportunity to catch passes now too.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On second down, Washington. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that plan any down.
On first down, gone. Throwing deep for Galladay. First, and this will be caught at the 30. They give him a gain of 38. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Stopped short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Gone. But it's brought in by Washington. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
To throw on second down is gone. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Back now, as I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
On the quick handoff, it's Juszczyk. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. He'll set up a 2nd and 7.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
To throw on second down, here's Webb. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Reynolds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are working.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Lions have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Following the fumble recovery, Goff. Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Well, Brennan, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Trying to pound it in with Washington. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. DeAndre Washington with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Hawker out now to kick it away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And he'll get up near the 45. He'll spot it at the 44. Well, the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. Now a first down throw. Webb. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. On second down, Webb. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The Vikings on third down. Not good, 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Vikings trail at home at halftime. The Lions will want to come out after the half and really put the pressure on from the start. All right, let's get it going. Let's roll those first half highlights. 1st and 10. Ward's got the catch here, and he'll end up being taken down at the 4. Lions later on the drive. Washington's going to take it up the middle, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. Lions push the lead to 10. We go to the second quarter. Ebron is found on a quick pass, and it ends up working for a touchdown. Lions now up by 17. 3rd down from inside the 30. The hurry throw would be picked off. Huntley's happy to come away with the pick and end the drive. Following the forced fumble, Washington's going to duck out to the left, and he caps off the 2-play drive with the score. Lions go up by 20.
And hello, I guess Larry's halftime show was buttoned through, and we are moving on and ready to go for the 3rd quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd down, Cook. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and get enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
It goes as a gain of 8 and moves the chains.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the 1st down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. So after nearly turning it over, new life here for the offense on second down. Comes to Cook, and he loses the football a second time, and the Lions have recovered. So we're going to look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Lions on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Goff. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and this is caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That has to be frustrating for defenders. Third down, they take a shot way downfield. There is good coverage, yet they still come down with the football and pick up a big gain.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come up in an offset eye. A handoff for Washington. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA, and now a great career in the NFL. 3rd and goal now, so some urgency here for the offense. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 3 yards on the keeper, and it's 4th down.
I can't say that I was really in love with the play call there. A draw in that situation, I know it's a risk-reward call. If it works, he walks in. But otherwise, you're bringing up a really tough 4th down situation.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Here we go on 4th. Wrong. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr in there to drop it for a loss on the play. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
I can just see it now. But on the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If they throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
And all the way to the opposite 48. The ultimate speedster, showing that speed in front of this home crowd. They love that.
Made me stand up on that run because right now all I want to do is wave to the crowd. More noise, more noise.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. 2nd down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They run it again with Cook. Oh, what a juke into space. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break up the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And this one is right through. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, they started this drive in as tough a spot as you can at their own 1, so they're able to march it into field goal range and get 3.
I thought that was a very poised, dare say classy sort of a drive. Backed up in the shadow of your own end zone, yet you come out of it and put points on the board. Well executed.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind and try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow him to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Now gone. Ebron caught left side. And a good hit there and knocked down hard. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Clive Walford, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Hocker now for the extra point. So the quarterback drops the throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Hocker out now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT. see, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive in with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Looking to throw on second down. Webb, he's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your number one cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Boy, what would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
To throw, Webb. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whipping on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way, and boy, you can get hurt.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Webb now from the gun to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. What did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, you plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be fourth down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play. It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games, and now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get into the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
Into the fourth quarter now. The offense has got to feel like they've imposed their will and kind of taken the life out of the defense. And you can see it from the perspective of the guy carrying the football. Those holes have to look huge, similar to a great hitter. Seeing a ball come into the plate and he's in the zone, the ball looks like a beach ball to him. He's just smacking it over the wall. Now what you're seeing is a runner whose eyes are wide open, and he's envisioning a goal line.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam through the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, hello, my name is Mike.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. He may try and run for this. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first, here's Washington. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Staying on the ground with Washington. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. The Lions on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Goff. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. On the give, this is Washington. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And quickly, they get to the line. They'll try again with Washington, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Checking in on Houston. It's in the 4th quarter there. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Texans have scored. That one's been interesting as they retake the lead. Deshaun Watson, good game throwing the ball over 300 passing yards. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Reynolds. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Detroit, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.